We hustle harder and we push past our intuition, ignoring the whispers from our body that are telling us to slow down because we believe that if we can just do more, then we will be enough and we'll be worthy of more. But the kicker is, it's actually the finish line that you're looking for just keeps moving because the enoughness that you're seeking is already inside you. So the belief that you're not enough is really the trap.
Welcome to the Lyssn podcast, your space to tune out the noise and tune in to the wisdom that already lives inside you. I'm Alyssa, and through soulful conversations and grounded reflections, we explore what it means to live your bliss, to walk through life aligned, intuitive, embodied, and lit up from within. Because the answers you're seeking, well, you already hold them. The real question is, do you have the courage to listen?
Hello, listeners, and welcome back to the Lyssn podcast. My name is Alyssa, but you can just call me Liss. And today's chat might sting just a little bit, but in the very best way. Today, we are going to be talking about how we're all running on autopilot and how this hustle harder culture and work harder culture has a lot of us burnt out and is not working in accordance with our natural rhythms and our natural designs. And we're doing it all for some imaginary level of enoughness or perfectionism. As women, we're constantly being told we can do everything that men can do. And this is not going to go into the politics or the feminism side of things by any means in this episode. But I actually don't think that that's the case. And I think that we've constantly had this message thrown at us of if you can do it all, you can be it all, you can do everything that men can do, you'll finally be worthy, you'll finally be safe, you'll finally be enough, you'll finally be free. And that's what we're going to dive into today. All right, Mama Liz is about to drop a truth bomb. Are you ready? You were born enough. Bam. You are enough. You were born enough. The fact that you were even born in the first place is an absolute incredible miracle if you look at the numbers of that, of you being here in this incarnation, in this body, this soul, in this universe, in this time, in this way. That's mind-blowing enough as it is. However, somebody along the way convinced you that you needed to earn it. But when we ignore that truth, when we silence that inner wisdom, when we push past our limits, eventually our bodies and the universe scream at us to stop, whether it's through a breakdown or whether it's through a burnout or whether it's through dis-ease. But the whole point of this episode is to let you know that you do not have to hit rock bottom in order for you to deserve more and in order for you to affect change in your life. You deserve happiness. You deserve to feel joy, to feel whole, to live your bliss, and to feel completely aligned and at peace and truthful to your authenticity and your heart and mind and body and soul and spirit right now. So today I really want to unravel this belief. I want to dive underneath why we feel this way, and I want to give you a practice. It's an emotional freedom technique, EFT tapping technique. I'm going to actually teach you how to go through it, and hopefully this will help not only to shift the mindset, but I want to also help us shift this out of your nervous system and out of your body so that you can move through the rest of your day, your week, your life aligned, because it definitely isn't serving us. And I really want you to live like the worthy magnetic soul that you really are. So from a young age, many of us were rewarded for being the good boy or the good girl and for getting good grades and for behaving and for, making other people happy, sometimes at the expense of our souls. And that love and acceptance becomes tied to our performance. And then when you add in the social and cultural programming that we've been marinating in for our entire lives, it makes perfect sense that we have this ideal of what a man or a woman should do and be and how they should act and what they should be able to achieve. You've got TV and movies constantly showing us this ideal perfect woman who's effortlessly juggling her career and her home life and her relationships and her family life and her beauty. And we should be able to do the same, right? And then if you grew up in my era, we had magazines constantly screaming at us like 10 ways to be more beautiful and more successful and more pretty and thinner. And never actually any articles saying like, you are enough just as you are. Yeah, it was always like, you need to strive to be this version and better than yourself. And most of it was always from an aesthetic perspective or from how other people perceived you, never about pleasing yourself and making sure that you were okay just as you are. And now we've got social media, which is like a 24/7 billboard of highlight reels of everybody else's life saying like, you need to work harder and your life should look like this. And if it doesn't, you're failing in some way or you're falling behind or you're not good enough. We hustle harder and we push past our intuition, ignoring the whispers from our body that are telling us to slow down because we believe that if we can just do more, then we will be enough and we'll be worthy of more. But the kicker is it's actually the finish line that you're looking for just keeps moving because the enoughness that you're seeking is already inside you. So the belief that you're not enough is really the trap. And whenever we're using some kind of external means to validate ourselves and to make ourselves feel like we're worthy enough, the truth is you're actually seeking the emotion that is tied to that object or that external validation. So thinking about that emotion that you're actually searching for, that's where you can start to realize, oh, it's not the car, it's not the house, it's not the relationship that I'm actually wanting. I want to feel happy. I want to feel loved. I want to feel complete. I want to feel satisfied. I want to feel successful. I want to feel like I've achieved something, like I've put out a legacy in the world. I want to feel accomplished. And when you understand that, you can start to do the things that will genuinely allow you to feel those feelings without having to grab all those external things and create this tangible world around you that is not actually going to make you feel those things. It might for maybe, I don't know, a minute, an hour, a day, a week, a year. But beyond that, it's all meaningless. And the cost of ignoring your inner wisdom is burnout, is chronic stress, is illness and dis-ease, is disconnection from your truth, from your heart, and from what you actually truly want and from who you actually truly are. It completely separates us from ourself and from our soul's purpose. And too many of us will actually only stop when we're forced to, when we have a breakdown, when we are completely at that rock bottom moment. But I don't want you to get there because I definitely did. I'm speaking from experience here. You don't have to get to that point in order to make change. So I want you to write this down on your mirror if you have to. Your worth is not a finish line. Your enoughness is not a finish line. It's the ground you already stand on. Success and freedom do not come from hustling harder. They come from remembering who you are and from choosing a life that nourishes you and your soul at your very core. If your bestie came to you in tears saying, I just need to do more, I need to be more perfect so people will love me and so that I can feel worthy of their love, would you look them in the eyes and say, yep, you are so right. You need to do more. You are not enough yet. Of course not. You would grab her hand. You would grab her face even. I would. And you would look her deep in those eyes and you would say, baby girl, you are enough. You were enough the minute you first took a breath. You do not need to do anything to prove yourself to deserve love and freedom and kindness. You already are everything that you are attempting to be. And I'm sorry, but if you wouldn't do that, then you're not a good enough friend. And if your friends aren't going to do that for you, then you need new friends. Come over here, bestie. I got you. Like, imagine if there was a child and you actually sat there and whispered to them, you're going to have to prove your worth to people because you have to earn your enoughness. You would never, ever do that. But essentially, that's what you're constantly telling your inner child. So one of the most amazing exercises that I offer with my coaching clients is to get a photo of yourself as a child, pop that photo on your mirror and speak to them because they're still inside you. They are there. They've traveled the journey with you, but they need you to speak up for them because they don't have the words, they don't have the vocabulary, and they don't have the voice. You do. It's time to retire this belief that we're not enough. It's not true. The truth is you are enough just because you are. The fact that you exist means you are enough. That story that you've inherited and carried for far too long, it is time to put it down. All right, let's shake that out. And this is such a heavy energy. We don't need to hold on to this anymore. So we're going to do some EFT, some emotional freedom technique tapping, like I said. But before we do, I just want to really drive this home with today's pivot point. Here's where you take back the power. Here's where you get to choose. Option 1. Keep running this endless race, this chasing enoughness, ignoring your body's wisdom and silencing your intuition until you reach complete and utter burnout, breakdown, or rock bottom, and you're forced to stop. Or option 2, stop the cycle now. Remember your worth. Start living your truth that you are enough just as you are. Now, and choose a life that aligns with your soul instead of draining it, because you are so, so worthy of it. Have you had enough yet? Have you had enough of the pain yet? If so, I know where I'd be going. Option 2. So before we dive in, I do want to explain what EFT is. And I did a beautiful medi before I started this episode. Medi meaning meditation, for those of you who are unsure what I'm talking about. And I've written everything down. So I'm going to be referring to my notes as we go, because I want to explain this correctly for you guys. And it's not just a woo-woo thing. This is something that we've also got neuroscience to back it up as well. So EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, or it's also known as tapping. And it's a mind-body tool that combines the ancient Chinese acupressure points with modern psychology. So here's where it gets both woo and sciencey. We're working with the body's energy system. And just like in acupuncture, how the body's energy and chi is being moved and redirected, tapping does the same, just without the needles. Studies have actually shown that tapping helps to calm the amygdala, which is the part of the brain that's responsible for fear and stress. And that stress hormone of cortisol is actually reduced by up to 43%. And it also helps to rewire the brain so that old patterns don't control you anymore. So we're not just going to use tapping to help release the not enough story from your mind, but we're also going to help to release it from the body and your energy as well. If this is your first time tapping, please do not stress. If you also can't see me, that is completely fine. I will be guiding you through this, and hopefully we'll be able to talk you through so that you can follow with touch and feel. So here are the points that we're going to use. We're going to start with the karate chop point. It's underneath your pinky, that fleshy part of your palm on the side of your hand that you would use if you were going to karate chop a board. And what we're going to do is use our other hand as our tapping hand, and we're going to use the fingertips of our fingers on that hand. I use my dominant hand, which is my right hand, but you can use whichever hand. It's completely up to you. There is no rules with right or left side. So we're going to be tapping on that fleshy part of the palm on the side underneath the pinky. That's our first point. Next up, we're going to move to the eyebrow. So this is the inner part of the eyebrow, the start of your eyebrow. Think the inner part of your eye and near the bridge of your nose. So we're going to be tapping on that part there. Now, I actually like to use my ring finger or my middle finger for tapping of these individual points, these smaller points. I find that they're just a little bit softer and not as intense to tap on, because you don't need to tap hard. And I'm also using my right hand for tapping because that's my dominant hand, and I'm tapping on the right side of my face, if that makes sense for anyone who's not watching, just so that you're not going to the opposite side, which you can still do, but it's just a little bit easier to do the same side as your hand that you're tapping with. So next up, for the third point, we're going to be moving to the outside of the eye, the side of the eye, and move your fingers to the bone that is on that outer corner of your eye. So we're going to be tapping in that spot there. Our fourth point is under the eye, just below your eye in the center point on the top of the cheekbone, and we're going to be tapping on that bone in the center there. Moving on to the fifth point, it's underneath your nose on your Cupid's bow. So under the nose on top of the upper lip, followed by underneath your bottom lip. So on your chin point, this is the crease between your lower lip and your chin. So you want to tap on that spot there. Our seventh point is the collarbone. Now this is actually like an inch below your collarbone in that really tender point. And I like to use 2 fingers for my collarbone point. Then we want to go under the arm. So I'm going underneath my left side, so crossing my dominant hand, my tapping hand across my body, and we're going about 4 inches below your armpit. And for the ladies, this would be like where your bra strap would be, and we're tapping sort of along that rib cage area. And lastly, we're going to go to the top of the head. So this is the crown, the highest point of your head, that crown chakra spot as well, and we're going to be tapping up there. We're going to be doing 3 rounds, 1 to release the old story, the second to soften and release, and the third to really anchor your enoughness. Alrighty, my loves. So first off, we're going to take a deep breath in, close down your eyes, and I want you to really just focus on how you feel in your body. I want you to think about your worthiness, about how enough you feel. Because the thing is, we can logically understand all the things that I've said already in this podcast, but embodying it is a different story. So this is just another way to really help us shift not only the mind, but the energy and the embodiment. We just take a couple more breaths and just really think about how you feel at the moment about your worthiness and your enoughness. And if you had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you land on how you're feeling about how you're showing up for yourself and how you are advocating for your enoughness? Don't worry, I'm going to call out each point as we go, so you can just follow along with my voice and really just focus on your body and on listening to what I'm saying. So round 1, we're going to start with the karate chop. Even though I've spent years hustling to prove my worth, and I've silenced my inner wisdom to keep everyone happy, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Now we're going to go through all the points, starting with that inner eyebrow. All this proving. Outer eye, this belief I'm not enough. Under eye, this pressure to be perfect. Top lip, ignoring my body's signals. The chin, pushing myself past my limits. Collarbone, feeling exhausted. Underarm, thinking I have to earn my worth. Top of the head, I'm ready to let it go. Round 2, we're going to go back to the karate chop. Even though part of me still feels unsafe to slow down and believes I have to do more to be enough, I deeply and completely love and honor myself. Inner eyebrow, it's safe to slow down. Outer eye, it's safe to listen to my body. Under eye, I can soften now. Top lip, I don't have to prove myself anymore. Chin, I can choose differently. Collarbone, it's safe to rest. Underarm, I am already worthy. Top of the head, I'm letting the old story melt away. Round 3, back to the karate chop. Even though I believed for so long I wasn't enough. I choose now to remember who I really am. And I fully embody my enoughness. To that eyebrow point, I am enough exactly as I am. Outer eye, my worth isn't up for debate. Under eye, I was born enough. Top lip, it's safe to honor myself. Chin, I can listen to my inner wisdom. Collarbone, I can rest and still be worthy. Under the arm, I release, proving and step into my power. Top of the head, I am free and I am enough. Alrighty, I want you to take a deep breath in, hold at the top, and exhale slowly. Close down your eyes. I want you to place your hands on your heart and notice what feels different now compared to when we started. Think about that rating that you had before. What does it feel like now out of 10? Your body already knows this truth. You are enough and always have been. And now that your nervous system feels it too, you'll notice it should be a lot easier to listen to that inner voice. It's time to really honor that wisdom. Start setting those boundaries for yourself and start choosing the life that you were meant for without waiting to hit rock bottom before you get there. My loves, if this episode has stirred something within you, if you're feeling ready to stop hustling for your worthiness and you're finally wanting to create a life that feels aligned and free and light and joyful and enough, I want you to know that you do not have to figure it out alone. This is exactly the work that I do with women. I help women to reclaim their inner truth, to reclaim their authenticity, to reclaim their enoughness, and to step out of the burnout and into their feminine power so that they can create freedom-based success that feels not only attainable, but sustainable and fully aligned. So whether that is working with me one-on-one in a coaching capacity, or doing my courses, or maybe it is building an online business like I have in the health and wellness space, creating impact and income online. There is a path for you here, and I would absolutely love to walk that path alongside you. Let's talk about your next step so that you can start living from this place of enoughness, not someday in the future, but right now. This has felt deeply nourishing for my heart and soul, and I really hope that this has been impactful for you and that you are noticing a shift from when you first started listening to this podcast episode to now. And I'd like to leave you, as always, with a whisper from within to carry you throughout the rest of your day. Where in your life are you still ignoring your inner wisdom and pushing yourself to the edge, hoping that it will finally make you enough? And what small, brave choice can you make today to honor your energy, your body, your worthiness, and your enoughness before burnout or breakdown forces you to stop? I truly hope that this conversation has helped you, whether it's to soften into your enoughness or maybe it's just to let go of the weight and the burden that you've been carrying. I would love to hear how this episode has landed for you and if it has had an impact. I am genuinely so excited to hear all of your stories and to listen to you guys and hear about how these episodes have touched your journey. So please come and share with me. Come and connect with me over on Instagram at Lyssn Podcast, or you can DM me personally, privately at Lyssn Natalie. I genuinely read every single message, and it truly means the world to me to hear about all of your breakthroughs and your reflections, and especially those epiphanies. That makes me so, so happy. So, my loves, I hope to connect with you this week elsewhere, but if not, I will see you next Sunday, same place, same time. Keep listening. Thank you for listening, beautiful soul. If you felt something shift, please reflect on it, share it, and let it ripple out into the world. If something spoke to your heart space today, I would love if you could share it with someone that you love and leave us a review, which will really help more of our soul fam to find their way here. If you want to connect with me, if you have questions, topics, if you want to know more about my courses, or if you even just want to say hi, please reach out. I would love to hear from you. Come find me over on Instagram at Lyssn Podcast. That's LYSSN Podcast. Or you can message me directly at Lyssn Natalie. My DMs are always open. Until next time, stay soft, stay true, keep living your bliss, and remember, your soul's song is always worth remembering. So, keep listening.